Yeah, good afternoon to all of you. What we are going to cover in this session is we'll talk about intelligent enterprise, okay? And we'll also discuss, I will make an attempt to explain to you in simple language what do we mean by intelligent enterprise. And then I would discuss some of the skills that you need to develop to build an enterprise that you can call it's an enterprise ready for really becoming a smart enterprise. So how do you build a smart workforce? So that's going to be the focus. I have kept the agenda very simple. We did discuss in the morning session about the market trends. So we will not repeat market trends here. I would spend a little more time in this session to share our findings based on the data that we collected, in which many of you actually participated, right? So that's going to be the second thing, and I think you would find some of our findings being very interesting. Then we'll discuss about this intelligent and innovative technologies. And I'm not going to discuss all technologies, but I want to ensure that the technologies we discuss here, you will have clarity on what they are. So we are going to discuss artificial intelligence. What is artificial intelligence? What does it mean for you? What does it mean for us? People talk about machine learning. So what do you mean by machine learning? So we'll cover these concepts with the help of a few use cases, few examples. Then we will actually demonstrate one example from one big player on how do they drive their digital journey. So this is going to be a real example from one of the top players of the world, how companies are looking at their digital journey, how companies are looking at digital transformation, how companies are looking at leveraging intelligent technologies to build an intelligent enterprise. Then I was planning to conduct a simple quiz, and in the quiz we will not discuss anything that we have not discussed. And there are 4 simple questions. I need actually internet connection in this laptop. Hopefully that would work. And my plan was that before the end of the session, we do that simple quiz, which is objective type. You have to just pick up what you think is the right results. And the system would compute the score, and the score gets computed based on your accuracy of answer and the speed of answer. So if we are able to do that, I think it will be interesting. If we are able to conduct it, we also have 3 small little awards to be given on behalf of ISB to the winners. And then finally, I have 2 slides, and these slides are on what kind of skills that we need to build to be globally competitive in future. So that's the agenda. Does it sound okay? Is it fine with all of you? Is it all right? Now, we discussed about what we spoke today in the morning session about the market trends. And I think we had a lot of discussion on this. And there are works that companies got to do. There are works that government needs to do, right? My scope of this session is not going to be what government needs to do, but I can assure you that there's a lot that government and policymakers also need to do if they want apparel industry to be globally competitive. And I think it's an industry deserves support because it also creates employment. And if you look at the number of people, number of families which are supported by this industry is quite a lot. And also in terms of size, if you look at OGTC member alone, the export that you do is not very small, though in the global context, there's a lot more that can be done. Now, what we have done is we received responses, 35 responses, and these responses came from different companies. And those of you who filled in the questionnaire, you might have realized by the time you complete responding to the questionnaire, you get a fair idea about what it takes to be an Industry 4.0 company. So those of you who did not respond, I would definitely motivate you that, tomorrow, day after, you can actually, you can attempt to fill in the questionnaire. Now, in the morning hours, I mentioned that 41% of the respondents, meaning 41% of these 35 people, felt that right now Industry 4.0 is very alien. It's not something which is very clear. It's not something which is clear to the people on why it is important, is it relevant. So our survey shows that there are a lot of those doubts. And I mentioned in the morning session that I think your online presence got to really improve. Because today, if you want to do big business, I think online presence is very important. Online strategy is very important. Digital continuity is very important. When I say digital continuity, it means whether your different processes within the organization and the interaction you do with your customer and the delivery you do to your customers, interactions you do with your supplier, do you have a digital continuity? So customer, supplier, your organization, is there a digital continuity? So that is a topic today, is discussed quite extensively worldwide. Now, when we did this survey, our survey actually showed that people are enthusiastic. Many people don't know what it is, but they have a feeling that probably in next 1 year time, the companies need to start initiative in implementing Industry 4.0. When you asked about their personal views, their views have been, after going through the questionnaire, they felt that probably such initiatives are important in the organization. So 31% of the respondents showed interest to implement Industry 4.0 if such initiatives are taken up by the organization's leadership team. And managers feel that those who participated in the survey, they feel that they believe a lot of jobs which are repetitive are likely to become redundant. So that I thought I should share with you. This slide is very interesting because we asked a question that what kind of skills you think are going to be very important next 5 years. Now when you ask that question, one was people says IT infrastructure. They felt IT infrastructure need to improve. We need to have people who understand how to improve IT infrastructure. So that was one. The second was that collaboration software. How do you use software to collaborate with your customer? How do you use software to collaborate between various departments? So this was another area that people felt is important. In fact, interestingly, the people who participated in the survey, they said they believe automation is again something which is going to happen in the industry, and that they need to acquire skill on automation. Now, we had asked a question about new technologies. Which all are the functional areas which will be impacted by new technologies? Answer was manufacturing, production and operations, IT and data security, HR and finance. Then finally, we had raised a question that 3 most likely new jobs. The answer was IT. They believe there will be some new jobs coming up in the IT area. People felt that a lot of data is collected, but data is not analyzed. So there is an emphasis by the people who participated in this survey that there got to be an approach to have data-driven management decision-making process. That people should be familiar with what you call as data, there should be data analyst, data analytics, data-driven decision making is going to be important. And there are also people who felt that R&D is also going to be a very, very important aspect. Now, well, there was 93% of the people that they do digital communication. But I was wondering whether this digital communication only means use of VC, or does it mean only using email, or does it mean exchange of some 3D images, or is it more than that? Now, what do we mean by more than that? I will take you through a case. I will take you through a short video clip which is about an organization and their digital journey. You will find it interesting because you do B2B business. So you deal with big players. So what kind of strategies big players are working on, I think it will be interesting for you to know, because those big players are your customer. Yeah, so this is digital marketing tool. Majority of the people say they use digital marketing tool, but again, I'm not sure what kind of tool you really use. So let's just move on. One interesting aspect was when we asked about what kind of skills they believe employees must have in next 5 years. So interestingly, we found that almost, majority of the people, you will find that they went for the digital area and data analytics, right, are two areas that a lot of people supported that they should be going for. So now I get into the topic called intelligent enterprise. What do we mean by intelligent enterprise? What is an intelligent enterprise? We must remember, if you say your enterprise is intelligent and you want to do an audit to really figure out, is your enterprise intelligent, you got to make an assessment. Are you using intelligent technologies? What do we mean by intelligent technologies? For example, Internet of Things. Are you having those smart sensors in various critical machines in critical points, right? Which can communicate with you and you can communicate with the sensor. Then artificial intelligence. What is artificial intelligence? We are going to discuss that. Machine learning. What is machine learning? We are going to discuss that. Blockchain. You will find on the YouTube a lot of my talks on blockchain. We'll not have time on blockchain, discussing blockchain, but I wanted you to know that I believe blockchain again is likely to disrupt your industry. Then analytics. Are you using analytics tools for your business? Now, we have been actually seeing a transition from many technologies. We have actually seen a huge transition as far as automation, use of programmable logic controller is concerned. That's one area. Then we went into newer kind of technologies, like for example, leveraging internet. That has been a very big thing between 1990s and 2000. Then if you look at 2000, after 2000, people started talking about cloud technology, that your data can be on the cloud, right? The transaction you do in Google, all those data are actually residing, on the cloud. They're not in a machine in your organization. So cloud, mobile devices, right, and big data analytics. And we'll look at some interesting example of big data analytics. Now, when you come to what we say now, the intelligent technologies, I gave you the example, which was machine learning, artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, blockchain, so on and so forth. Now, I mentioned during the morning session that because of automation, the repetitive jobs are disappearing, right? Now, if you do an analysis of last 10 years, you will find many jobs have come up which were not there before. So there are many jobs which are coming up, which are high value added jobs. You add value, you do innovation, you do something which is creative, not round the mill, repetitive and routine. So we find that because the repetitive jobs are disappearing, many new jobs are coming up which involves innovation, creativity. Now, so the message when we say the intelligent enterprise, we keep saying that the workforce of tomorrow is going to be different. In fact, if you look at World Economic Forum report, there's a lot of report. It all talks about workforce of the future. Workforce for the future, as far as India is concerned, today's workforce is not good enough to compete. So we need to really work now to build our workforce. So if you look at 20 years back, you had these companies like organizations like NIIT, you had, Aptech. Now all these companies, you would find that every corner had some training school which was on programming, C++, and all kind of programs. So the country actually worked for more than 20 years to build up the skills which are leveraged today. If you look at the kind of export IT industry does, is because the kind of investment that was made to build up skilled professional. Similarly, as far as future is concerned, future of workforce will be different. And we need to work today to identify those skills and build up those skills. Now, let me give you an example, right? Are you familiar with, now let's look at artificial intelligence. You might ask question, are you discussing theories or does it mean anything for us? Now, I would like to get your feedback. Can you tell me an example of, right, human action and ability? If you look at, as human, we can speak, we can listen to a language. Now, in artificial intelligence today, there are applications that can recognize speech. So speech recognition is possible. Can you give me an example? Are you all familiar with any software which does speech recognition? Yeah? Okay. Now, let's go to the next one. Reading and writing a language. And that, in artificial language, we call it as natural language processing. So, natural language processing. Any example?
My mobile phone can read my message.
Okay. And see and process images. You see and you process image, right? It's called image processing. Any example?
I think like smart cameras, we have CCTV security cameras.
Okay. Now let's look at these examples. The first one you did mention, speech recognition. The bright example, very popular example is Amazon's Alexa, right? If you look at reading and writing a language, which is called natural language processing, chatbot. You're familiar with chatbots? These days chatbots are very powerful. The good thing about chatbots, they don't get tired. You are asking a question early morning, 3 o'clock. It is as spirited as if you ask a question at 9 a.m. So these chatbots have started really becoming very intelligent. It can do dialogue as if a human is, an intelligent human is doing the dialogue. So chatbots are becoming very, very popular, right? Then let's say you can use chatbots with your customer, your big B2B customer. If they have a query and if you have an intelligent chatbot, it could actually answer, do you know when is my delivery going to happen, right? I will say that we have already shipped. It is right now, has landed in your town. And if I go by the information we have, you should be receiving it in next 2 hours. So chatbot can actually do that, right? Now, image processing, I think the bright example is this mobile phone's Face ID system, right? So that's image processing. But interesting is pattern recognition. When you talk about pattern recognition, right, machine learning is something that does pattern recognition. So we are going to discuss an example. You will find it very simple and you will find it very interesting. So we are going to discuss machine learning. By the way, everything that I'm showing here, I'm happy to share copy, right? You can write me email. I'm happy to share the copy of my morning presentation and this afternoon presentation. So machine learning, we are going to learn about it. Now, object recognition. Many people say whenever you talk about self-driving car, people say India is not the right country for self-driving car. According to me, the best country for self-driving car is India. Because how a human is going to behave, you know, all of a sudden you are going, somebody crosses the road. Now, for you to be really handle this kind of situation, you really need an artificial intelligence. You know, all the time we are thinking something else, looking at, you know, all of a sudden a cow comes. What the car should do, right? I can assure you that this self-driving car, right? They can recognize, you know, this is a cow coming, you know, I got to be careful, or this is a human coming, or this is a dog coming. So I think, and then it can really maintain discipline. So I think for India, you know, this self-driving cars are you know, good example, and it uses object recognition, right? It uses object recognition. Now let's get into the next topic, which is machine learning. Let's try to understand what is machine learning, right? Now, if you look at, we learn from our experience, right? We learn from our experience. Yeah, you know, one of my very popular example is when my daughter used to be small, right? She was once wanting to touch a hot plate. You know, she was asking me, Dad, can I touch this? I told her, don't touch, you will hurt your finger. Now, somebody pressed the bell, I went and opened the door. When I came back, I thought, let me give her a lesson, let her learn by burning her finger. I told, you can touch, but you immediately remove. Then she was not touching, she was keeping like this. So I said, you touch, it will hurt, but just remove. So she was not touching. Later on I learned, when I went to, you know, open the door, she just touched it and it was hot and removed. So human beings can learn from experience. How about machines? Machines follow instructions, right? But can machine also learn from experience? Can machines learn from experience? Yes or no? No. Yes or no? Now, see, machines learn, for them the experience is data. And machines are extremely good in reading data, understanding patterns, look at what decision it took, and what actually happened. Was there a deviation? Should there be learning? So machines learn from data like we learn from our experience. Now let's take a very simple example, okay? And I'm taking an example which all of you can easily relate to. Let's say you have this small house, it costs $70,000, and you have this big house, it costs $160,000, and your task is to say what should be the price of the one which is medium size. Now let's say that's the question. You have to say what is the price, okay? Now what you do is, as I told you that machine learning languages, they use data, right? So what a machine learning language would do, so it would look at past data. Suppose you have these 3 houses, and from the past data, you can see these blue points, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there are 8 data points. These 8 data points relate to different sizes of houses, and for different sizes of houses in y-axis, it displays you the price. I was telling you that machines can learn from data. That's what is their experience. Now, if you look at this data, assuming this is the data, what should be the price of this medium-sized house that you see in the center? Should it be $80,000, $120,000, or $190,000? Any guesses? 120. But how will the machine know it? Because you can see it, you got a powerful eye, you got your own judgment, but how does machine do it? So if you really look at in the current context, right? In the current context, you find this straight line which feeds this data, right? And then you look at on the straight line where it falls. Somebody answered $120,000, so that was a correct answer. Now, but how will the machine draw that data? Suppose you have 3 data. You can easily figure out how that straight line should be there so that it is more or less, same distance from all the line. But machines can't do it. How will they do it? Now, what they will do is, it will randomly draw a line. Then it will look at, I have 3 points. So what is the distance from the 3 points? If these distances are the error, you agree? These distances ideally should have been 0, right? So they are the errors. So what machine will do, it will look at all these distances, add them up, and say this is my error. Now obviously you want the error to reduce, so it will draw one more line. Now if it finds, well, the error has actually increased, so what it will do is, it will try one more line. So finally, you come out with a line for which the distances, that is the errors, are the least, okay? And you might have seen people who climb the Everest. When they go up, when they come down, right, you have a big option. You don't know, should you be going left or should you be going right, okay? So what people generally do, there is a way they figure out that the distance from the destination, right? Now I want to share with you that machine learning languages have become very simple, right? They have become very easy to use, very friendly. I was giving you today the example of one of the companies, right, which captures your preferences, your choices, and does delivery of dresses for you, right? And it learns from its own experience, from the data. Like if it gave you 7 dresses, it will look at, did you keep any of them? If you have kept one of them, it will register, oh, you like this color. So artificial intelligence, I think, can really answer a lot of questions. I'm sure I was talking to, Tony, and Tony was telling me that many of his big customers, when you engage, it takes sometimes months together to close. Imagine if you could have known right in the beginning, after some interactions, will this guy really close the deal, or am I wasting time? So machine learning languages can actually help you deciding that. It can tell you that if you're interacting with 10 prospects and you gave 100 samples, which are the one likely to close? So artificial intelligence, I think, is very useful. It can help you in doing data-based prediction, fact-based prediction. It can tell you buying patterns. It can tell you which deal will be successful and which offer will not be successful, right? We discussed about robots. I'm not getting into the detail, but one thing was clear that factories of tomorrow are going to be quite different than the factories of today, right? We spoke about robot population in the country is going to go up. Now let me give you an example of big data. You might have heard a lot about big data, right? Other day, you remember, we both were discussing about big data. Now big data, you will be surprised, many of your customers that you are working with, right, sometimes maybe making comments on internet, which you are not aware of, right? Some of those comments could be very good. Some of those comments may be neutral. And some of those comments may be adverse. Now, for you to do analysis of all data, based on interactions with your sales guys, right, with your merchandising fellows, it is easy to do. Or from your ERP, you pick up the data and analyze. But that doesn't really tell you what is there in the heart of the customer. So this big data analytics is a very powerful tool which can analyze information that you have on the internet and can tell you what are the sentiments which are positive. What is the sentiment about India, for example, in the apparel business? Are there specific sentiments about the OGTC member? Yesterday, the other day, I think, Tony, you were mentioning about, that some of the buyers were quite appreciative about the OGTC member, the way you collaborate, the way you exchange information. Now, maybe some of them are talking about it also on the internet. Maybe it's there. So big data, I'll give you an example, and I'll pick up an example from the industry. That morning they were talking about that there's a lot you could learn from automotive industry on how do they manage supply chain. Now this I'm going to talk about how do you use big data, right, for customer sentiment analysis, right? Now, for example, if you look at Scorpio, when Mahindra launched Scorpio, we actually used a big data analytics tool, and we were tracking all information that was there, right? We were tracking the Facebook, we were tracking the LinkedIn, we were tracking Google, we were tracking, the Instagram, we were tracking all kind of possible sources that we felt people may be communicating. So on the Scorpio, we collected data from newspaper, from Twitter, from Facebook, from LinkedIn, and the big data analytics tool, if you have such tool, it will do an automated analysis for you. It will tell you what are the positive sentiments. It will tell you what are the negative sentiments. So it will not only tell you, it will actually make very specific comments, right? For example, if there is some negative comments, now this is from Ashok Leland, we were doing some analysis about one of their products, and there were some negative comments. Then management wanted to know what were the reasons of those negative comments. You can do drill down, and you can find out why people are talking negative or why people are talking positive. So you can find out the positive and negative points, right? Now, I wanted to share with you that the kind of changes that's happening in the industry, one thing is very clear, industry of tomorrow will be different from industry of today. Now, you would find many jobs would disappear. Many jobs would disappear, right? And you will not be able to protect jobs, which I was telling in the morning, but you have to protect people. And if you want to protect people, then you have to train people. You have to train people. Now I wanted to just try whether we can play this quiz. So it's like this. All of you got Kahoot, right? All of you got it? So the game goes like this. The moment I will click here, one question would come, okay? That question will have, so first of all, the moment, so there will be a pin that comes up, there will be a pin, you need to wait, there will be a pin which will come up, you have to enter that pin, and then you need to pick a name. You can pick up any name, you can use your own name or you can use a pet name. Now, there are a total of 4 questions. It will come one by one. The first question, when it comes, there will be options. You need to pick up the right options. So if you fill the answer with red color is the right one, then select the red color, okay? If you fill the answer with blue color is the right one, then select the blue color. So I am clicking here. You would find a pin is likely to appear now. This pin is specific for this game. Actually, generally you need internet which is of reasonable bandwidth, right? So you all are playing individually, so I am saying it's one by one, okay? So the game is on building the workforce of the future. There will be 4 questions. You have to enter this pin 932385. 932385. 932385. And then it may ask a name. Then you need to enter that, you can enter any name. You can just, you can write your first name. Yeah? Or you can give a pet name. Yeah, so far we have 29 players, 31, 32, 34, 35, 37, 38, 39, 40, 42. So anybody else wants to play? I start, okay? And Colonel Rajiv, we have the top 3 players, top 3, whoever comes as top 3, you will get a memento from ISB, plus you will get a special real stamp which was released by the president of a country. So I am now starting. There are 48 players. Please remember 2 things. Maximum time set for each question is 2 minutes. But you get a point for answering fast. Obviously, you've got to be accurate. So if 2 people got right answer, whoever did it faster will get higher points. So I start the game now. Okay, the first question. Most important aspects of the 4th industrial revolution are, is it steam engine, or is it cloud and internet, or is it programmable logic controllers and automation, or is it electric motor? Whichever you think is the right option, please click. Right? I've done that. Yeah, question is clear. Most important aspects of the 4th industrial revolution are steam engine, or is it cloud and internet of things, or is it programmable logic controllers and automation, or is it electric motor? Yeah, can I go to the next question? Yeah? No, you don't, you haven't got it? Huh? No? No? Yeah, then, yeah, then I think I skip, yeah. So, yeah, huh? It'll take? Yeah, it's because I have said 2 minutes, because I thought that I didn't know all of you will be so smart. So initially I had put 20 seconds. Then the next option was 2 minutes. Is it seconds? Is the time? Yeah? Yeah. So 23 seconds, another 23 seconds. See, what's very important for all of you to know is that, it's really unfortunate that an industry that you are, okay, this was the first industry that actually leveraged the first industrial revolution. And that was steam engine, right? The first industrial revolution. But when it comes to 4th industrial revolution, right, you have 27 correct answer, by the way. So I go to the second question, okay? Correct answer is cloud and internet of things. Now, I don't know who is Nit. He is he is right now leading, followed by Rakesh, D.S. Sharma, Saurabh, Shubham, and Komal. Now let's go to the next question. Now, India has an inexpensive workforce, meaning labor force is cheap, and young population in the working age group. So one option is, hence, we must protect jobs. If we don't protect jobs, there will be unemployment will increase, it will create social unrest. Second is, we have to nurture employees' agility, adaptability, and we need to reskill them. That's the second thing. And the third is, focus on only manpower intensive industries. Don't do anything else. And fourth is, don't invest time and resources in this industry 4.0. So whichever you think is the correct answer to the question, you can click that. You're left with 72 seconds. Two more questions. Huh? Yes. Yeah, it's clear to all of you. Actually, by the way, people feel shy to say that you can have growth, but you may not create employment, right? Even government officers feel little scared to say, yes, we have not been able to generate employment. The fact lies, we have not been able to generate employment. By the way, if you have growth, that alone cannot guarantee employment. So, investment in new technology, expansion, doing business easy, identifying industries which can employ people, supporting them. So you need a lot of things, and we should not feel shy in saying that we may have jobless growth. So we are left with another, so we move to so there were 43 right questions, okay. We move to the next question, which is so right now, NEETS is heading, followed by Kamal, Saurabh. Then we have somebody else popped up, and Sharma has gone to so that this is the third questions, okay. Which of the following statement is true? Now, first option is big data analytics is used in conducting customer sentiment analysis. This is one option, that you can use big data for conducting customer sentiment analysis. Second option, big data analytics is used for assessing performance of big customer. Third option is both are correct. Fourth is none of them are correct. You have 90 more seconds to go. First option is big data analytics is useful. By the way, big data is a very powerful thing, right? We are left with 78 seconds. One very useful thing is pick up any topic that you feel very difficult. Artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data. Pick up a topic that you believe sounds like absolutely alien. Pick up that and just Google, right? Let's say you write artificial intelligence YouTube. You'll find 6, 7 links coming up. Pick up the one that you believe is most friendly. I think learning has become very simple now. So we had over here 13 correct responses. We move to we have Janan Samit leading with 3,144 points, followed by Saurabh 3,040, Ramesh 2,873, Raj 2,783. The last question, okay? This is the last question. Which statement closely defines an intelligent enterprise? Is it you will call an enterprise intelligent if it uses intelligent technologies like artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data and blockchain? We did not discuss about blockchain, but let me tell you that's a very powerful concept. And if you want to learn it, send me an email, I'll send you some useful material. Intelligent enterprise means automation of shop floor. Intelligent enterprise means the hiring of intelligent workforce. None of the above. We have 87 seconds left with, right? And Colonel Rajiv, can you come? So if the fourth one goes well and we have the overall correct number, then I'm going to request Tony to come over and hand over this, mementos to the 3 winners. Let's see whether, whether system does a good job or not. But this whole subject of intelligent enterprise is really very, very interesting. I recently, so 33, correct answer. If you look at the, So can we have Saurabh? Yeah, Tony, we wanted to request you if you could, and right. Yeah, this, if you come to the center, right? Yeah, can Saurabh, and followed by Ramesh and RSS. Three of them can come. So actually, what we are giving is Colonel Rajiv. I wanted you also. Yeah. So this is actually on the occasion of the president had released actual stamp. This is a real stamp on the occasion of the 15th anniversary. Can we have Saurabh? Who is Saurabh?
Saurabh is there.
Huh? You are Saurabh. Please come over. If you hand over this to him.
Congratulations.
Right. Yeah, come. And you also get this. You will find something interesting. Okay.
Good.
Right. These are real stamps.
Good memory. So preserve it.
And the second is Ramesh. Who is Ramesh?
Mr. Ramesh.
It's Tony ji. Yeah, Ramesh, please take this. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, right? And you also have a. Do you have more stuff for the German? This is yours. And can we have RSS? Yeah. So, RSS, right? This is, please. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Congratulations. Yeah, we wanted to hand over one to you. I'm just getting. We had planned. He's just coming. Just 1 minute. I want to hand over one. I had actually requested him that if you were around, and then we are going to request you to give, and it turned out that you were around. So we brought 4 sets. For you. No, this is for you.
Me?
Yeah, for
Thank
you. This is, Yeah. Can you take the picture? Yeah, so this is for you.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah. So this is,
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. So friends, I would just sum up our discussion. My idea was to generate some interest on this topic. I think it is a very, very interesting topic, and you got some learning on what is machine learning. Now I want to do the last thing, which is showing you a short video clip on what big players are doing, right? See, it's very important for you to understand that your customer, since they are primarily B2B, what are they doing when they are talking about their customer? So this will help you to appreciate that, okay?
The world is digital. We communicate faster, connect better, and change constantly. Hugo Boss keeps pace with this change. In the future, 3D virtualization will be the base for all our creative processes. Be part of Hugo Boss Future Virtual World. It all begins with an idea. With virtualization, our imagination will be turned into reality, right from the start. Explore every angle of a product without any limitations. Communicate faster with all related departments and partners globally before making a physical prototype. Combine forms and fabrics from the digital library. Compare unlimited varieties directly with the virtual prototype. With virtualization, we will start an era of new efficiency. In the future, whatever you have in mind can be brought to life in an instant. Improve styles down to the smallest detail in 3D real time. change fit and colors on the fly. The touch and feel will always be key to Hugo Boss. So physical prototypes will be reduced but not abandoned. With virtualization, we will invest more time and money into an even higher quality of our garments. In the future, distance will become irrelevant. Enjoy interactive meetings with other markets and decision makers, seeing the whole collection at a glance. Share your opinions on the collections easily via virtual conference and resolve possible issues right away. Agree on final collection items. With virtualization, global connectivity leads to order and delivery all around the world. In the future, numbers will raise emotions. Communicate on an interactive level with the buyers, allowing them to see the key items of the collection both virtually and in reality. Simplify the order procedure with other colors, product varieties and relevant information of the sample virtually. With virtualization, sample costs will be reduced significantly. Introduce collections more interactively and in depth with interactive training guides. In the future, virtuality will become reality. Consumers will experience an emotional new world of digital shopping, being able to select from the entire worldwide HB collections to create their own individual outfit. With virtualization, Hugo Boss sends its customer on an interactive journey, which connects the virtual with the real world, providing an even more unique and high-end shopping experience.
In future, the 3D virtual product development will be the core of our creative and technical development process. Our goal is to create a higher efficiency and better quality through this innovative project.
In the future, the world of fashion will be redefined. Be part of virtualization. Be part of Hugo Boss Future Virtual World.
So the message that I would like to leave, that it is very important for you to understand your customer, right? And if you want to do this understanding well, then you have to understand your customer's customer. So what I'm going to do right now is just have my two last slides summing up the skills I believe are going to be very, very important in future. One is learning to learn. We got to learn how to learn. But you just don't know in future what you need to learn. So the skill to learn new things is going to be one of the most important skills. Then I think ability to simulate in a virtual world. When you interact with your customer, it can be just your B2B customer, designing in 3D, collaborating in 3D, sharing 3D sample, designing in 3D, I think can really significantly reduce your concept to cash cycle time. And skilling for your kind of industry, since you have a lot of people who are not very educated, but they do great job, good job. They got to be trained properly. So I think the skilling strategy and vocational training is going to be important. The ability to develop skill for innovation. In fact, at ISB, we do a program which is for 5 days only on innovation. How do you develop the skill to innovate? What are the toolkits for innovation? So it's becoming increasingly very popular. And complex problem solving. You have a problem in the shop floor. You're getting some defects and you are not able to relate why it's happening. So it's very important to learn the scientific tools. It helps you to get into the root cause of a problem and identify the root cause. In fact, lean manufacturing is a very old concept, but when I was visiting many factories, I got an impression that there is a lot of scope for implementing lean manufacturing concept, visual management concept, right? And you can definitely, implement 5S for better housekeeping in a much better way. And these are within your control. Then develop leadership skills. I think manufacturing industry needs leaders. And manufacturing industry, the kind of problems you have, they're quite different from service industry. So I think developing leadership skills for managing manufacturing and operations is important. Cyber security is going to be a very important skill. You won't even know some of your machines which are aided with software, they may just be hacked. So cyber security is going to be important. How do you leverage big data? I give you the example of, many companies are using big data for customer sentiment analysis. Internet of Things. You don't need to do big things. You can do step by step. You don't need to do earthquake. You can do step by step, small step. Identify those critical machines, those critical parameters, measure them. If you measure them, only then you can improve. So measuring, I think, is very important. 3D printing, I think you need to really develop skills at, your professional body level. You can actually see whether OCLA, at an OCLA level, OGCT level, can you really develop some kind of competence or some vendor that would help you in acquiring skill on 3D printing and concepts of blockchain. Thank you.